good morning, Nigeria, and good morning to everyone watching us from every part of the world. My name is Toyin Oyemade, and it is my absolute pleasure and delight to welcome you to another edition of the platform happening today, the 2nd of October 2017. A very happy Independence Day to all of us, as our great nation turned 57 yesterday, and I hope that you all had wonderful Independence Day celebrations. Now, today's edition of the platform is brought to you live from here at the Covenant Place, Igomu, and it promises to be another edition where we talk about the cogent issues that pertain to us as a nation and as a people. The theme of this platform's edition is putting together the jigsaw puzzles that make Nigeria work. And we have 7 speakers who will be making presentations across board. We have Mr. Roman Osegale, Mr. Segun Adeniyi, Mr. Segun Odegbami, Professor Pat Utomi, Professor Ehosa Osegai, Bishop Matthew Kuka, and the Honorable Minister of Trade and Investment, Dr. Oke Enelema. So today promises to be a time where together, as we watch, we'll listen to conversations that would further the subject on nation building and making Nigeria the country that we wish it to be. And so we'll cut into the main auditorium where the platform will start shortly. But before we do that, I have a special guest here with me in the studio, the convener of the platform Nigeria and the senior pastor of the Covenant Christian Center, Pastor Poju Oyemade. Pastor Poju, thank you for joining us here in the platform studio.
All right, thank you.
How are you today?
Very well. Quite impressive what you said.
Fantastic. Now, we've done the platform for many years.
Yeah.
Why have you kept on doing this program? Why do you think it was necessary to keep pushing the conversation around the platform and Nigerian nation building?
Well, I personally believe that nation building, the development of your environment is part of the calling of a Christian. And I therefore believe that there should be an intervention, all right, by the church, because we have a responsibility to be the light of the world and also to be the salt of the earth, which means that to preserve what is going on within the environment. And when we look at nation building, the art of nation building, one of the elements in nation building is that you create cohesion among the member states of a nation through what is called public enlightenment campaigns. That's one of the ways in which you bring about cohesion and you bring about harmony. And advanced nations, they understand this. They use the media to try to drive and bring different elements within the society together so that you can create a greater dream for the individual parts there. So nation building, to do that, there's an art to it, and this is one of the elements of building up a nation, right, in terms of developing a country. So we believe that that should be done, and so we feel this is one of the interventions we can have in order to establish that. Fantastic.
Right. And so you themed this edition putting together the jigsaw puzzles that make Nigeria. How did that theme even come together, and what should we expect from this platform?
Because once, I must say that once I read about the history of the United States, and it was quite impressive what the fellow said. He said many times people think that United States is the, bringing together of the different states, which we call, you could have Maryland, you could have Arizona, but it's deeper than that. It was an amalgamation of public and private institutions, that when they say states, they're talking about something much deeper than just fiscal states there. So what we are looking at in this one, because of the amount of tension that we have in the country right now, even though we had chosen this particular theme before some of the things that are going on in this country is to show people that the different institutions that form Nigeria, public institution, private institution, and also, all right, the different ethnic groups there, to try to breed a conversation whereby, we can begin to paint a picture of a nation and establish that within the heart. And let me say some other thing. Some people say that, when you have a program like this, it's like a talk show, but I heard once that sometimes people don't really know the power of conversations, having conversations. Somebody walked into the United Nations office once and said, you people, all you do is talk. He said, but when we established United Nations and we started talking, the world was stopped. that we're having world wars until we establish United Nations. And it is the conversation we had at the table that resolved issues instead of us trying to solve it with guns and with bullets. So there's something about conversations, particularly when you have a democratic system of government. That is why the founders of democracy made the freedom of speech the first thing in terms of when you have a democratic institution, because when people speak and talk, even if they vent, it reduces the amount of, the tendency for them to use their fists to resolve the problem. So we want to have a conversation, and we could have had it. We would like to have a much larger conversation than this, but we have, because of time and all of that, we just will keep it with 7 speakers. We believe, we'll be able to, create a conversation, a public discourse that will bring about policies that will help in building the country.
Fantastic. And so this is for both the leaders and every Nigerian?
Yes, particularly the leaders.
Particularly
we want the leaders to listen to this one.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor Koju. So leaders tuning, everyone tuning. Now, if you can't watch on TV, it's live online as well. Everyone needs to be a part of this conversation. We'll be going on a short break now, and when we come back, I'll be having a short conversation with one of the speakers who'll be speaking here at the platform. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Nigeria. You're welcome to the platform, Nigeria. This is Covenant Christian Center. The platform, of course, is brought to you by Covenant Christian Church. We are live here at the Covenant Place, Igomu, Lagos. Joining us here is
Ramitu Mamadou.
Okay, so welcome, Ramatu. What exactly brought you here today? So what is your expectation?
Okay, I have attended several platform programs, and platform is a place where pertinent issues in Nigeria are discussed. It has also become a progressive place where issues that affect the nation, what has happened before, what worked, what solutions can be proffered to move the nation forward is discussed. It's also a place where we get all the information about the huge potential in Nigeria and what we can do to harness this potential and to make the nation move forward.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Thank you very much. Thank you. So you heard it all, and I'm sure you're joining us in because you're also interested in the conversation. So these are just some of the expectations of people who have been at the platform and are here again today. So definitely you have your expectations. So you can also share your expectations with us on our social media handles using the Nigerian Jigsaw. You're welcome, sir. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Carol Kevin.
Is this your first time at the platform? So why have you come today?
The platform has actually touched my life. I am a member of Covenant Christian Center, and last year's platform was mind-blowing. The effect is still being felt in the nation right now. And this year's theme, putting together the jigsaw, the Nigerian jigsaw, the forms, the pieces. One thing I understand, the church has already been given a responsibility by God as the salt of the earth. The church being the salt of the earth, you know what salt does. Yes. It preserves, right? In most cases, try to slow down the pace of the rate of a decay. So the platform is that salt, bringing together people, great minds, speaking progress, development, peace to the nation, bringing solution through words and ideas that will eventually culminate in a process that this nation actually needs. We're developing, and the platform is one of those key factors that the nation needs, and I'm sure today's platform is going to be mind-blowing.
It
you understand?
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You heard the ideas, insights, mind-blowing thoughts, and that's exactly what we're expecting today. That one more time at the platform, we would hear ideas, we would hear insights, and things that, of course, are also actionable, that will actually transform Nigeria and will be felt by you and I. So as we celebrate our independence, again today, it's a holiday, but then tune in. It's a very intellectual event, of course. So then, we have the responsibility to listen, to also see for our lives where we can also play our role in Nigeria's development. So definitely some more expectations of people as we go on, as we start the event. So just stay tuned with us. We have a number of speakers today, mind-blowing, like our last guest said, mind-blowing thoughts will be coming at you. But then stay tuned, put away distractions, and just get ready to be enlightened.
To the platform studio, and the platform in the auditorium will begin shortly. But before we go there, I have with me in the studio one of our very special speakers for today. This is his 6th time here at the platform, and I have with me Mr. Segun Adeniyi.
Thank you very much.
How are you today?
Like I told you, I'm an indigenous.
You're an indigenous.
Not,
you are totally an indigenous of the platform.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming back over and over and over again. But that brings me to my first question. Yeah. Why do you think it's even important? Why do you keep accepting an invitation to come back to have these kinds of meetings?
I mean, I believe it's a privilege to be invited here to speak at the platform, because the platform is probably the biggest national event on October 1 every year. Yeah. So I consider it an honor and a privilege that the pastor will invite me to come and share my thoughts on such an auspicious occasion like this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And you've titled your presentation, A Nation on the Edge, yeah. which